Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. It's late September and I really should be back at school. I know I keep you amused, but I feel I'm being used. Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore. You led me away from home, 'cause you didn't want to be alone. You stole my heart and that's what really hurts. The morning sun, when it's in your face, really shows your age. But that don't worry me none. In my eyes you're everything. I laughed at all of your jokes. My love, you didn't need to coax. Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore. You led me away from home, just to stop you from being alone. You stole my soul, I couldn't leave you even if I tried. All I needed was a friend to lend a guiding hand. But you turned into a lover and mother, what a lover, you wore me out. All you did was rake my bed, and in the morning kick me in the head. Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore. You led me away from home, 'cause you didn't want to be alone. You stole my heart, I couldn't leave you even if I tried. I suppose I could collect my books and get on back to school, or steal my daddy's cue and make a living out of playing pool, or find myself a rock and roll band that needs a helping hand. Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore. You made a first-class fool out of me. Now I'm as blind as a fool can be. You stole my heart, but I love you anyway.
And here's James Frew. Good afternoon, James.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Not too bad, yourself?
I'm all right. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. My pleasure to be here.
So that was you doing a version of Maggie May for your tribute show that you... What do you call your tribute show?
The tribute show is Simply Rod, a tribute to Rod Stewart by James Frew.
You've got to get your name in there, obviously.
Got to get your name in there, aye.
Now, you're a full-time entertainer, James. You're relatively new at this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Started singing probably about 4 years ago. And that's it's
kind of carried on from there, really. The Rod Stewart tribute show started about a year and a half to 2 years ago, and really started taking it serious last year.
So the Rod Stewart, did that just sort of develop from your voice? Because you were telling me off air there that when you recorded Maggie May, you weren't particularly concentrating on the Rod Stewart part of the show.
That's correct, aye. The thing was that, when you were out gigging, folk would come up and say, "Oh, you sound like Rod Stewart a bit. You sound a bit like Kelly Jones from Stereophonics. You sound a bit like Bryan Adams." So eventually, somewhere along the line, somebody said, "Why don't you do a Rod Stewart tribute show?"
At least nobody came up and says to you, "You sound like you've got a sore throat."
Well,
which could have happened.
Well, see, that's the beauty of being like me, actually, because you get the folks saying, "I can't make my gig this week. I've got a sore throat." That doesn't actually ever happen to me, unfortunately, because I've always got a sore throat.
Oh, well, at least you're still in work then.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't affect you. No, but just people coming up and saying that they can hear that in your voice.
That's exactly what it was. And eventually someone said to me, "Why don't you do a tribute to Rod Stewart?" And I thought, well, and at that time I wasn't a massive fan of Rod Stewart, to be honest. And I thought, well, get a bash. And I spent maybe 6 months just rehearsing it day after day after day and putting the set together. And eventually, at one point, I'd done the whole thing. And then I just sat and listened. I went to my wife, I said, "You know what? I'm not going to do that Rod Stewart tribute show." And she's like, "What do you mean you're not going to do it?" I said, this doesn't seem to be me, and eventually I went back onto it again. And then, as I went and gigged and done it, the confidence grew, the show grew, and it's getting better and better. So it's heading in the right direction.
Great stuff. Now, I'm going to take you right back to the very start, though, and ask you where it all started. When did you develop, or did you think, develop the idea to start singing? Not just in the Rod Stewart manner, but, to start performing and entertaining.
Right, okay, well, way back, many years ago, I used to play the drums. That's what I started as a musician in a band, playing drums and stuff like that. And always underneath wanted to sing, but never had the confidence or thought I could do it. And my wife, we lived in Spain in 2001, I think it was, and I worked in a bar, and I had a chance to do a wee bit of karaoke in there, and started doing a bit of singing. She kept on saying, "You do this singing." She put me up on the karaoke all the time for Mustang Sally and things like that. I would be falling out with her, shouting and bawling at the side of the stage going, "I'm not singing that song, get me out of here." But eventually that's where it started, so really it's thanks to her, because if she hadn't pushed me in the right direction, then I still, to this day, would not be singing in front of people. So it's thanks to Angela, to be honest.
Ah, see, that's nice. Angela's sitting next door, and she's got the hankies out and everything. But
that's the truth of the matter. I would never have done it without her pushing me in that direction.
Now, in fairness, Angela must have the ear for the music to hear that talent in you and to say, you should do that for a living. I'm not going to name any particular TV shows, but there's some people who shouldn't be guided by their wives and husbands and siblings and whatever, because not everybody, there is a lot of misguided people,
deluded.
I suppose, deluded, who are put up into the entertain or put up to try and entertain people who just maybe didn't cut the slack.
Exactly, that's well, of course. But as I said, with her pushing me, I went up and done it. And as I say, time and time again, folk would come up and say, "Oh, that was good. We enjoyed that. That was really good," and carried on from there. Built the set up, started doing the kind of cabaret thing, around about the pubs and stuff like that. And it grew from there. And the Rod Stewart stuff basically came from the back of that. That's the way it went.
Now, just a question, and I've spoken to many people over the course of me doing this show, and many people, many fellow entertainers over the course of the years that I've been working, and how hard did you find it to put together? That whole set, and how much practice and everything else. How difficult did you find it to put it all together? Well,
that was probably the most difficult thing of all. When I started singing in front of people, where people were willing to pay me for it, for example. At that time, I was a big, my kind of heart and soul really was in soul music. Lotus Redding and Wilson Pickett, Sam Cooke, all that kind of stuff, the Commitments. And I put a set together to go out and gig, and it was predominantly soul music. And I remember going into this pub one night, the West End bar in Duntoker, and I was barring out this. I was in the middle of doing "I've Been Loving You" by Otis Redding. I mean, it's a classic song, right? And this old woman, about 95, came up, and she says, "Here, you son, you're rotten. Put on, get Spider back on your." and it was one of the things that you just you had to stand and laugh at, because it was like I was full of emotion. I was ready. I was nearly greeting myself, listening to myself. But she wanted to hear "Beautiful Sunday" or something like that, or one of these kind of songs. But that was the kind of turning point for me, actually, because I thought to myself, you know what? No, everybody wants to listen to soul music all night. So I need to start to diversify a wee bit.
Well,
so she done me a favour,
There's lot to be said that you shouldn't just sing the songs that you enjoy.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And that's what. So that my set then built from that point and diversified into all different avenues at that point, and just through the years playing different venues, all different types of people are there, and again you just have to start to understand what people are wanting when they're out.
Yeah.
And now my whole set is engineered and geared up to that point where there's loads of songs in there that I wouldn't listen to in the house, but at the end of the day, if somebody wants to get up and dance, we Mary for Govan wants to get up and dance to that song, then I'm going to sing it because that's what it's all about. It's about the people.
Especially if you're performing in Govan.
Especially
because that helps. Because there's always wee Mary.
Exactly.
Now, talking about songs that you like, songs that you like to perform, we're going to play another one of your Rod Stewart songs. It's a song that I'm not really familiar with. Tell us a bit about this.
Well, this song is particularly my favourite Rod Stewart song. It's a song called Forever Young. And I just actually love the song. And I put it in my set. My set lasts for about an hour and 10 minutes generally. And I put it in for that set. That is probably the one track it's there for me. And I just love the song. And I just think it's there. Great song.
Excellent stuff.